So, of course, it's damn near 1 a.m. in the night because that's when I actually start getting to do stuff. But yeah, I have a BeagleBone Black and I have a STM32F407. I have set up an I2C bus between these two things, where the BeagleBone Black is the I2C master and the STM32 is the I2C slave. The reason being, I tried to do it the other way around. I made this the master and this the slave, but then I quickly found out that the default kernel configuration that I have on my BeagleBone Black does not allow slave operations to be performed. I'll have to debug that. Most likely, I'll have to recompile the DTB and then load it onto the device some way. I'll have to find some way to do that. But yeah, fun stuff basically. But back to the point. BeagleBone being the master and STM being the slave. The ST has a slave address of 10, and I have a small script here. Let me interrupt the script and I'll cat the script. So what this does is it uses a tool called as I2C transfer. And it sends a couple lines, not a couple lines but a couple words in a single string, in a single line. This right here is the hex representation of every single character that I was going to send in my original string. Right, I'll resume the execution of the string and then we'll go on to the cube ID, and then we'll actually take a look at what is being received and what is being sent. So yeah, pretty decent stuff. And I'll switch over to the QID and voila, I have a working I2C bus between a BeagleBone Black and a STM32. Now the reason for me doing this was I wanted to understand how do embedded communication protocols work in a OS based MCU or a Linux based MCU, right? And I quickly found out that almost every single communication protocol has its own subsystem within the Linux kernel. Very smart people have developed tools and drivers and support for every single, not every single, but for most of the hardware out there. And since communication protocols are standard, you kind of don't care about the hardware part of it all. You simply, give a damn about the actual specification and getting the whole protocol implemented. And the hardware part simply boils down to which pin or which GPIO pin is to be configured for a particular board, and voila, that's how you have your communication protocols in a Linux based MCU. Now keep in mind, this assessment is based on about an hour and a half worth of work and research at 1 a.m. in the night. So like I started around 11:30. I watched the Man United Aston Villa game, had my dinner, and then instead of sleeping, I said, "Why not? Let's just do this, right?" So the reason for this video is a log, a embedded dev log, right? And yeah, just working on some cool stuff. Wanted to share it with you guys. And yeah, cheers. See you in the next one. MF Doom, by the way.